Hello, and welcome to our very first open house event of the year. My name is Maria Saldaña. I am the coordinator here at the Center for the Visual Performing Arts. And tonight we hope to introduce you to a host of wonderful opportunities available to you in the arts. We're going to go ahead and get started and listen to we're going to have a number of guest speakers, which some of my colleagues as well as students. If you have any questions or if you develop questions in the process of our broadcast, please add them to the comments so that we can address them expeditiously. Some things about the program. The program is 33 years old, or has been around for 33 years, I should say. It features majors in all of the fine arts, including visual arts, dance, music, theater, and TV production. But you'll see all of that in a breakdown presentation, which we're starting now. And I'm going to come on the bottom left here so that, as I mentioned before, we are located at Suitland High School and we offer 5 majors listed at the bottom. Cvpa is a rigorous high school arts program. We're a school within a school, and which means that students have an opportunity to pursue all of the arts, all of the arts plus their complete high school experience. So they don't sacrifice anything from being in the Cvpa program because they get to have the entire high school experience. Our graduates go on to some of the most prestigious colleges and universities in the country, and they receive handsome scholarship packages, as you will see shortly. This is our end goal. This is where we're headed. Oh, that's a previous image. It's interesting. And so what makes Cvpa unique? What makes it unique is that extremely in-depth experience that students have in the arts, where a regular high school student is only required to have 1 fine art credit. As you can see from the number of credits our students take in each of their majors, some of the students actually double their high school experience during their 4-year in high school. That means that when students go on to college and submit and send their transcripts, college admissions personnel can see that these students are not just merely interested, they are dedicated. They have done the work. They have gone extra school hours to accomplish the body of work that they leave high school with. The other thing that's very specific and unique about this course of study is that it's only available in 2 schools, which is if you live south of Route 50, it would be at Northwestern. And if you live north of Route 50, it would be, if you live north of Route 50, it would be at Northwestern. And if you live south of Route 50, it would be Suitland High School. And so they're only accessible at those 2 locations, which is very, very unique. So there are some very specific program features. This is, if you are familiar with the concept of magnet schools, CVPA is an ex-magnet school in the sense that students come from outside of the school, out of their boundary to attend, but also they have to go through a number of processes to receive acceptance. All the students who are in the program are highly dedicated because they went through an audition process. Students who are in the program, specifically the music students, receive private lessons. The program is designed to prepare students at the micro and macro level. So for the students who are musicians, they learn to play in an ensemble. But for the purposes of graduating and going on to be individual musicians, they also learn to be masters of their craft individually. And so therefore, for music students, they receive private lessons, and that is an expense that when regular parents have to pay for it, you'll know it's a significant expense. Another added advantage feature of the program is that students are in small learning environments, delving deeply into an area that they're deeply interested in. The program trains students to be able to, should they choose to, in many cases, start professional careers in the arts right after high school. We encourage, obviously, every student to go on and receive their bachelor's degree and and maybe more, because those kinds of things are very important for being excellent artists, but also being functioning members of society. And so when students are in the program, they don't sacrifice academics for the arts, and we'll show you how that comes together. Students receive a lot of individual instruction, transportation countywide, sort of countywide for our students. I'm going to come here so that I'm not just a voice. For our students who are within our boundary, they will receive transportation wherever they are in Prince George's County, as long as it's below Route 50. And Northwestern has the opposite, as you can imagine. It's an extended school day program. This is very, very important. And so what I said earlier, that students don't sacrifice academics for the arts, it means that they give extra time so that they're not having to give in their electives or not use up their electives, for the arts. And so because it's an extended school day program, again, that tells college recruiters that this student is someone who is significantly interested, deeply interested in their learning. And so that bodes very well. And it's part of the reason some of our students, or most of our students, receive such high scholarships. Students delve into their career early. It makes a difference, particularly when you want to enter into a field like dance, or in other aspects of the arts where you need muscle memory and you need to do that training and that strengthening. The earlier you start, the better. Unparalleled access to area professionals who come to the many performing arts venues like the Kennedy Center, the Clarice Smith Center, the Washington Performing Arts. When they have visiting artists, they contact us to bring the artists to our schools. And now that we are in this COVID era, that's happening virtually, but it's still happening.
You're not live. Hello?
I'm not?
You're not live.
I am.
On YouTube, we're talking and no one's seeing. I see you in the broadcast, but I'm not seeing you on YouTube.
I'm seeing it. Excuse me, everybody. I'm seeing it on YouTube. It's there.
Okay.
It's you have to look on the live, click the top. There's 2 links. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay. Eligibility. What must a student meet? What criteria must they meet to be eligible for the program? To be eligible for the CVPA program, students obviously must reside in Prince George's County. Most live, to attend students specifically, south of Route 50. Be currently in grades 8th or 9th, only grades that they can apply. and have a minimum 2.0 grade point average at the time of registration. So what happens if you do not have the grades right now, but you really are interested? It's okay. Go ahead and apply. Just give yourself the time between now and March. Between now and March to work on your grades so that you can be eligible to register at that time. Um, and also, if you're transferring from another school that is that has the same similar criteria in that it requires an audition, and it has the same level of rigor for the courses. And again, a breakdown. You might have noticed that throughout the presentation, there are these blue links, hyperlinks. At the conclusion of this presentation, there's gonna be a QR code on the screen for you to actually take this presentation with you and follow on the different links and explore further. Okay. So this link here, especially if you live in this area, you're not sure if you're north or south of Route 50, maybe you don't drive and you don't know what Route 50 is, then you want to click on School Finder, put in your address, and it will tell you which school you would be zoned for, whether it's Northwestern or Siouxland High School. And this is our campus. We are a large school, large in size of physical space and large in number of students. This is, let me see if I can get to it. This here is Silver Hill Road. I hope you can see my mouse. And this is our auditorium. This is the entrance. When you're coming onto campus to access the annex, this is the quickest way. You can also go this way, although right now we're a closed campus, so we're only open to students. We cannot have outside visitors, but this is the process. This is the main school building. This is the Technical Academy building. This is the annex building, and of course, self-explanatory. This is the football field. And so students take classes on all of this, and they do travel most of the campus. A bus is provided between periods first and third to go between the two buildings so that students can access that if they wish. If they don't feel like walking, most students choose to walk though. Here are some images of our campus. This is our annex. This is our annex art gallery, the visual arts hallway. So pretty. We're biased though. This is the dance hallway, and these murals were completed by students with the assistance of visiting artists and myself from time to time. We have a number of beautiful murals throughout the campus. And yeah. So about visual arts, actually what I'd like to do is just kind of give you an overview of what the different departments have to offer, and then bring the actual department member on, if that's okay. So for visual arts, students have an opportunity to explore drawing, computer graphics, painting, sculpture, photography, printmaking, and art history. So the way, actually, let me not do that because we do have Miss Anderson here, who is a department chair, and who can speak a little bit more with more, what is the word, authority on exactly what happens in the visual arts department. So here we go.
Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Miss Tiffany Anderson. I've been at Siouxland High School now for 21 years and the art department chair for the last 3 years. I was at 4 because we've been in COVID. So when your students, our ninth graders or 10th graders, come into our program, they start off with introductory classes. They're taking art and design, drawing, photography, and printmaking as level ones. That's our incoming ninth graders, incoming 10th graders. When they get into their sophomore year, they're taking Introduction to Art History, computer graphics, introduction to painting, and introduction to sculpture. When they are in their sophomore year, they get a chance to choose their majors. Majors means that they will continue in that class for their junior year and their senior year. They have opportunities to major in intermediate drawing, drawing and painting, printmaking, sculpture, photography, computer graphics, and advanced computer graphics. So when we did try to give them an opportunity to switch majors at one point in time, where they're able to access some other major, like maybe junior year computer graphics, senior year drawing and painting. We're still working in ironing that out. So far, it's been pretty smooth, but I know that COVID hit, and so we had to kind of go back to our regular program schedule. So in the visual arts, we also have our students to enter a lot of exhibitions within the county and also outside of the county. One of the main ones that we are entering or usually enter is the David Driscoll, and also the recycling competitions for the sculpture classes. The computer graphics teacher, I'm also working on certifications, Adobe certifications for our students. I'm starting with the computer graphics majors, but I'm hopeful. My goal is to actually have 100% of the visual arts students to be certified at some point. That's coming in time. Um, we are a portfolio vision um, program where students are finalizing portfolios. We also have an exit exam now for our portfolios too. Students also have the opportunity to submit their portfolios to the advanced placement program where they could get college credit. The program is very extensive, and we ask our students to be the majority of them are very dedicated, and so we enjoy and teaching them. We also have now started the National Honor Society, and we are taking members. So far, we have quite a few members, and we're looking for more students so that we can begin to work in and outside of the county and the community to extend our students' talent and their skills. There are the best ways to actually contact our teachers, of course, is to email them. I know I'm an email person, so if you email me, usually I'll email you right back. We are always available via email or phone calls. We do ask our parents to please, 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 please participate in grades. Please check school max along with your students so that we could work as a community to keep our students on track, to pass our courses, to learn, and to move forward into their next part of their careers. Do we need any more from me?
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And you're going to hang back to answer some questions?
Sure, I'll be here. Hope I
Fantastic.
didn't talk too fast.
No, no, thank you very much. Thank you. Get back to this. Okay, so that's visual arts. Next, I think we're going to look at, I had to skip forward. That's not where I want to be. Excuse me, a little bit out of sequence. Let's go on to dance. So the areas of dance that students explore are ballet, modern, ethnic African, choreography. Well, choreography is not a stop with dance. It's one of the things they do within dance. They study dance history and dance production. Tonight to speak to you about the dance department and what students experience there. We have Miss Fior Demando, who is the dance department chair. And so welcome. Hold on just a second. Is that you? That's not you. Yeah. Hello, Miss Ferdinando. Welcome.
Hello, welcome. Uh, I'm Miss Ridimondo. I teach ballet and I'm the department chair for dance. I'm so excited to tell you a little bit about our dance program. So Suitland High School Center for Visual Performing Arts dance program is a pre-professional program dedicated to preparing students for careers in dance and related fields while emphasizing continuation on to higher education. At Suitland, we provide our students with top technical training and artistic resources that are needed to pursue a career in the field of dance and beyond college. So we do that by teaching our students a really rigorous dance program, curriculum that comprises of technique as well as theory courses. Students will take 4 years of modern dance and ballet, 2 years of jazz, 1 year of world dance, 2 years of dance composition, which is choreography, creating dances, 1 year of point with the option of a second year of point, and the opportunity to audition for our repertory class, where you get to work with a variety of amazing choreographers and works as our performance group. Students at Suitland have many opportunities for performance and master classes. Each year we have 3 main performance opportunities: our winter concert, the senior student choreography concert, and our spring concert. Usually our winter concert is open to sophomores through seniors, with our freshmen being our man behind the scenes. So they're really deepening understanding of how the stage works, how what it takes to put on a production. Our spring concert showcases all of our amazing students. And in addition to these, our performances, our students also participate in the Maryland Dance Showcase, as well as the Northern and Southern County showcases. Our upper level students also have the opportunity to participate in the National High School Dance or Regional High School Dance Festival. They alternate. So 1 year we have our National Dance Festival. The second year we have the Regional Dance Festival. And at these festivals, students take master classes and have the opportunity to audition for college scholarships, as well as pre-professional and professional dance programs such as Joffrey Ballet, Steps on Broadway, and etc. In addition to these performance opportunities and festivals, our students participate in a variety of master classes and residencies by professionals in the field. For example, last year we had one at the University of Maryland and the Washington Ballet. Right now, our repertory is working with one of our illustrious alumni, Derek Spear, who is in The Lion King on Broadway, and he is setting a piece on a repertoire class. So students in Suitland and for dance, they have a plethora of opportunities for performance growth and development as a dancer. And we would love to have you join our program.
Thank you, Monsieur Demando. I love the
You're
call to action.
Thank you.
Yes. Up next, I'm going to ask our department chair for TV production to join the conversation. Basically, in TV production, students have an opportunity to explore, learn the elements of filming, editing, broadcasting, radio and mass communication, writing, storyboard, and journalism, which I've not listed there, but elements of journalism as well. And so without much further ado, Mr. Richardson.
Good evening, everyone. Just to give you a brief overview of the program, the TV production program, it has 4 levels: level 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have Media Arts Production 1, Media Arts Production 2, Media Arts Production 3, and then TV 4, and Practicum and TV. Also, we have script writing, which is a class that will be taken by both 11th and 12th graders, depending on where they are in the program. With that, the students have to produce major projects that will be entered into the Prince George's County Public Schools Film Festival and they also have an opportunity to compete in other film festivals in nationwide and locally. Some of the projects that they work on include producing a broadcast, or they have to produce a documentary, a feature film. With the in the category with the documentary, we have informative, which can include news packages, public service announcements as well. In addition to that, they are learning how to produce podcasts and commercials. As they get into media productions three, and I still kind of call it TV3 and TV4, I still go by the old names every now and then. Uh, they they will be creating portfolios, and the 12th graders, it will be mandatory. It started last year. Well, they have to participate in the exit technical assessments. So the 11th graders, they will participate in it as well, but the 12th graders, that is part of their exit um, from high school, is participating in the exit technical assessment.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. I'm going to do your outro. Up next, we're going to talk to you, introduce our theater department program. The theater department is comprised of obviously acting, performance style, theatrical design for students who are more interested. Well, all students explore theatrical design. The way that the theater program structure is that students do the behind the scene as well as on stage and as well as on the technical aspect on the bridge. So they study acting, performance style, theatrical design, repertory, playwriting, directing. But within that, they also get into costume design, dramaturgy, which is the research of actual what was happening during the time that the play is being implemented, so that they get to know all of that encompasses putting on a performance. Many of our students have gone on to attend some very prestigious universities. Like we've had several students attend NYU for the theater program there. We currently actually have one alumni who started there last year. And so within the theater program, students are able to participate in many performances. They for the students who are for the students who are more interested in the visual elements of the theater, it's possible that they may be in some performances, but mostly work on the components of creating the stage or creating the set design or creating designing the lighting design or designing the sound design, which is also a thing. And so I don't see my colleague for theater. Maybe he'll join us shortly. Let me try something. Ms. Anderson, can you call back in a few minutes and we'll see if we can call in after that. Ms. Anderson?
Yes, I'm still here. Would you want me to hang up?
Yes.
Okay.
But stay around.
Okay.
Let's see if I think I just need a space in case he's
Okay.
here. Mm-hmm.
I'll be here. All right.
Yes, I see Mr. Spencer. Hi, Mr. Spencer. Can you call in? Yes. No, Nadia, not now. Hello, Mr. Spencer. Okay. So until No. For the students who are calling in, thank you for being on top of it. I'll let you know when it's time for the student component. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to pause it here and I'm going to move on to music because we've just been joined by our orchestra teacher extraordinaire, Mrs. Fisher, and I think a little Fisher as well. Can you hear me, Miss Fisher? Okay, let's go. So let's talk to you about music. Within music, students, when students apply for the program, they select their preferred music strand, which will be either band, piano, orchestra, vocal music. That is their major ensemble. But within that, every student who is a music major also takes piano theory every year. They have a private lesson at least once a week for the entire 4 years. And so the different ensembles are also very collaborative in that they work with each other, so that sometimes a band student is working with the orchestra or vice versa, or they're working with the vocal program. And so students have an opportunity to immerse themselves in the community of music in the way that is real in the real world, because musicians are not in silos. They are part of a community that changes based on the instrumentation of the grouping that they're in. And so students get to have that experience within the program. I'm going to see if I can have Miss Fisher join us. Hello, Miss Fisher. How are you?
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Fantastic. This is little Calvin Fisher.
Hi,
He says hello.
Calvin.
He's not a musician yet, but he's happy to talk about the program. So I am the orchestra teacher, and our music department consists of band, choir, and orchestra, as well as a piano department. And we have every student in the music department takes 4 years in music theory. Um, what usually happens is we have an audition in January, and the students that are selected to come into our program, one of the really cool things about our program is that you're pulled out of applied classes and you receive private instruction one-on-one from a variety of teachers that are part of our applied faculty. So I know for my program, I have a bass instructor and then a separate violin instructor and a separate cello instructor, and they each are incredibly talented and successful in their areas. And I know that for band, they also, for every instrument, there's a teacher, and many of them are participants in the military bands in the area, teach at local universities and at other local music schools, as well as perform regularly. So they are the best of the best, and that is a huge bonus to being part of the music program. Also, I do have to say that the requirement to have 4 years of music theory is actually such um, a huge advantage when you go to college. This last year, 3 of my seniors chose to go into music in college. They each received scholarship for their major, which is fantastic, and all of them were able to skip a year of music theory because of the music theory skills that they gained and the piano skills that they gained at Suitland, which time is money. If you skip classes, you save that money. So I'm really, really proud to say that our music program is thriving. I know that band, choir, and orchestra, we all typically do multiple performances throughout the year for not just the community and the school, but we also get out and play in small ensembles for the community, which is really special. I know given COVID that our involvement outside of the school is less than it has been, but we're looking forward to that picking back up as soon as things uh, get back to normal a little bit. We have rehearsals every single day, So I know for orchestra, we have rehearsals on A days because it's a block schedule, A, B, A, B. So on A days, we have regular rehearsals. And then on B days, the upperclassmen get together for small ensembles. We also have collaborated together. So regardless of whether you're an orchestra or band or choir, you're going to have a chance to get to know all of the music teachers. And you're going to have a chance to work with the band students and the choir students and the orchestra students, which is, again, a huge advantage when you go into the professional world to be able to collaborate with other musicians that way. So we really hope that you audition for our program. We're excited to work with you. And regardless of what your specialty is, there is a place for you here. We're a really tight-knit group, and we're a really close family. And we look out for each other, which is a wonderful thing in a high school. That's a wonderful part of student development as well. So I think that covers everything for music.
Yes, I would like to put you on the spot and ask a question because obviously for the students who audition for music, if they don't have an instrument or they have had access to an instrument part-time, but they're nervous about applying, what advice do you have for them?
That's a great question. And I think at this point, so we have students of all levels, and we've been very nurturing in their abilities because there are so many different career paths you can go into when it comes to music. It's not all necessarily performance. So I encourage you to apply. In fact, this year we revamped the audition requirements for music. And I don't think that they're intimidating at all. Just sit down, do the application, just crank it out. Come to the info meetings. If you're nervous, feel free to reach out via email to me, Mr. Waller, or Miss Randall, who are the three teachers for choir, orchestra, and band. And we'll be happy to answer your questions. But even if you are newer to music, we welcome you to audition. We also have been able to provide, last year we had a comprehensive class where if you were not a music major, you could participate and hone those skills and then audition to the program later. And then this year we have a music survey class, which is basically like music appreciation. But we really hope that that is not your choice and that you'll actually audition into our wonderful programs and come get the private lessons and the prestige that comes along with the music diploma from the Cvpa.
Thank you, Mrs. Fisher. And thank you, little Kelvin. He was so quiet.
He's a pretty good baby. So, and thanks for letting him join. He's part of the family too.
He definitely gets the rest aspect of music.
Absolutely.
Thank
you.
Thank you. And so I want to take a moment. I won't read all of our names to you, but this is the team that makes the magic work. Within the program, we have a team of about 21 teachers who are highly committed, who are professionals in themselves, who are who have been in the field, professional, as I mentioned, at some point, and who have deep access to professionals in working now and bring those professionals to our students. Caring, excited, and most importantly, knowledgeable. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get Mr. Spencer back in here. Excuse me for just a minute. Go back to theater. Here we go. And Mr. Spencer, assigned to guest 5. Hey, Mr. Spencer, welcome. What can you tell us about the theater program?
Hello. The theatre program, to deal with the sort of the basics of it, is we start with the basics. Is what we do. We take students at the beginning, some of whom are actually quite experienced, some of whom are beginners. We look for potential as much as anything. We look for people who have an enthusiasm for theatre, a commitment for theatre. And as I say, some have done a lot of theatre, but others are just fairly new to it. And we start off with the basics. We train students how to use their bodies, how to use their voices, how to identify a character in a script, how to build a whole character that has a life through the script, and how to put a production on. And that's a lot of what we do for the first 2 years. From then on, we get into more advanced work, and students will be actually studying theories of acting, quite advanced stuff, not normally done by high school students, and more of an undergraduate type thing. To the senior year, when a lot of the good things will happen for people who are in their senior years. We have a class in directing, we have a class in playwriting, and the directing class gets to put on a one-act play. The playwriting class, they will be writing a play, so you get a lot of chance to express yourself. By the fourth year, having been through this program that's taught you all these skills, they all come to a head, and you can put it all together in this fourth year, and really kind of establish yourself as a theatre artist by doing these things. Sometimes we've even had people who've written a play and then gone on to direct their own play. So there is a lot of room for self-expression if you've gone through that very sort of disciplined process of going through the other 4 years. We have a production program we do a fall production and a spring production, large production shows. Obviously, the last year that we weren't able to do that in front of an audience. But in previous years, we've had everything from A Raisin in the Sun to a contemporary piece called The Laramie Project, to a whole series of Shakespeare's that we put on. We put on professional level productions with a program that would fit into a professional theatre's program of what they're putting on that year. So it's demanding, and it's challenging, and it's exciting, and I think it's a great thing to be a part of. And I think the thing I really want to stress for people is echoing what Mrs. Fisher said. There's a family atmosphere in the program. In our department, we talk about the theatre family. And should you choose to come here, should you be accepted, you'll find yourself as a part of a group of people that have kind of an identity around themselves. And that's a terrific way to go through college, to be with people whereby you're not the odd creative person in the classroom. You're around a whole lot of creative people who are like you, who have similar interests and similar enthusiasms, and you're not the kind of odd person out. You're with a group, and you get to go through the program with those people over the 4 years, and we get to work with you as well. And as a teacher, that's hugely beneficial, that we get to see people develop. We have a long-standing relationship with them, and we too are part of that family. So it's all a very good thing, and I hope you give this some serious thought, and I hope we can see you at audition time, and you can show us your best selves. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer. Can you hang around to answer questions?
Sure.
Thank you very much. So as Mr. Spencer was just saying, why do this thing? You know, when you consider to do this thing. So if you've gotten to this point and you're kind of interested and you're like, well, why should I do this thing? Well, there are a number of reasons which we listed today, but let's recap some of them. You get to be in a small learning environment with like-minded individuals who are interested in the same things that you are and who have committed time to doing precisely that. You're in a pre-professional program which trains you to go on and start doing the thing that you say that you love to do. Is it playing an instrument? Is it drawing? Is it painting? Being a graphic designer? Having your own editing business where you're a video production person, which is in high demand at the moment. It's something maybe you decide that you want to go into medicine or law or some other degree, but you have these skills that you can then also use beyond high school. And you get to enter those careers at an early time. And as I mentioned before, unparalleled opportunities. There's so many different things that our students get to experience that is atypical, unusual, unreal for students at the high school level. I mean, one that I can think of is like our students being able to sing at the We Are One concert for then President-elect Obama, and a number of events that we did with that. But aside from that, because we're so close to, excuse me, because we're so close to Washington D.C. Anytime there's like a federal event and they need performers and they need to showcase children, maybe they don't want to pay for artists, but mostly because they want to show the support for the arts. They contact us, and we couldn't be more happy to oblige. One thing I didn't add on here, but as of this year, CVPA students will be one-to-one Mac. So every student will receive a Mac laptop as part of their 4-year experience to explore all of those things we were just discussing. It's not a toy. It's not for gaming. It's for delving deeply into the things that you're doing in the classroom so that you are beginning to work very with professional tools in the professional area that you are going into. So those are some good things to consider. Other things to consider, our students go on field trips. We have a lot of international artists. Their students are part of master classes often. And we have a number of partners, like we have a partnership with the Clarice Smith, we have a partnership with the Washington Performing Arts, and our students reap the benefits of those partnerships. We're high profile, meaning that when you apply to colleges and they see that you're coming from a magnet arts program, and in a lot of cases with our students, when they're coming from our program, then they know, because part of what happens also is that colleges actually come on our campus to recruit students. So that really changes the relationship in that whole college application process in your favor, or in students' favor. Hopefully it'll be in your favor because you will be here. And of course, nothing replaces that artistic experience. So that's definitely consideration. While in the program, students aim for mastery, not just introduction, not just a hobby. This is where you come to become a master of your craft and to know the most that you can and learn the most that you can. As I mentioned, you are with like-minded individuals and you forge lifelong friendships. Unrelated to this, but just recently, a parent of two graduates, well, a parent of one graduate sent me a wedding proposal of students who met in the program, and they came and proposed on campus, but it was some time ago. But the people that you meet here are people that you're going to be friends with and be in touch with for a very long time. And the most important part is the scholarship component. And so our students are rewarded very handsomely for the hard work that they do on this campus. The CVPA graduating class of 2021 amassed almost $8 million in scholarships. And so, and that was 73 graduating students. Not too shabby. These are some of the schools and universities that our students have gone on to. But it's not limited, It's not limited to this. This is specifically something the dance department put together of the number of the universities and schools that students have gone to. In this presentation, as I mentioned previously, you will get the actual QR code to go through this presentation. There are hyperlinks that show you our last graduating classes, the last 3, and it'll show you where they went to school, what kind of scholarship they received. It doesn't have their names. It doesn't have the students' names, but it has the name of the schools, what kind of scholarships they received, and all all that good stuff to kind of give you an idea of what's possible for you. And these are some of the companies that our dance students, our dance alums have gone on to or are currently working in. And so pretty fantastic. So then, okay, so you say you want to do this thing, right? You want to do this thing. How do you go about it? Let's break it down. The first part is get to know what is it about. Okay, so we're here. We're at the application part. We're at the open house part. You are here. You're getting information. The next thing will be to complete the application. The application deadline is December 10th. The application completion takes about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I encourage you, if you're the student, to sit down with your parents because they're going to ask for information that you most likely will not know. And so it should be completed by a parent. Then what happens next? Then you come to, you want to complete the application tonight or tomorrow. Then you come to the audition workshop. Actually, the audition workshop is on November 18th. As of now, this is the wrong date. This is tonight's date. And then the actual audition will happen in January. And you'll get those dates once you complete the application. Because you actually sign up for your date. So I'm going to ask for anyone who has questions for the faculty, if you could post your questions. When is the student? Okay, if you have any questions for the faculty, place it in the chat. If not, I am going to dismiss my colleagues so that they can continue to enjoy their evening and. We'll have the students join us so that they can then share their perspective from the most important perspective, probably the student perspective. Any questions? If there are, I'll ask the colleagues to come on. So colleagues, thank you so much for joining us this evening and taking of your time. We'll have more of these. So I'll probably be bothering you again. Do you guys have any questions for me before you leave? No? Okay. So I'm going to, okay, thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the students on so they can begin answering questions. Hello, Nadia. Welcome. Let's see. I'm going to assign you to guest one. Hey, Nadia Gutierrez, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can I hear you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So we're asking students to join us this evening to share their experience. So for you, I would say, could you talk about how you learned about us, about CVPA? First of all, who you are. Let me go there. who you are. Introduce yourself. Where did you learn about CVPA? Where did you go to middle school? And yes. And if you could say something about the social component, because a lot of times when I talk to students in the middle schools, they are afraid of coming to Suitland because maybe they don't know anyone. They're like the only person in their class who's applying, and so I just threw a whole lot at you. So take it from there.
So my name is Nadia. I'm part of the visual arts department in the CVPA. I'm a photography major and a sculpture minor. I attended Judith B. Hoyer Montessori. And where I heard from, or how I heard about the CVPA, was one of my friends from my middle school actually went there, and I actually got to see their whole process of like creating their portfolio and everything, which was really interesting. And I was like, they actually have a program for arts, and she was like, yeah. I was just like, oh, I want to sign up. I want to do this too because I really love art. And she was like, yeah, I can get you all the information because what I'm doing now. and then I'll start texting you and sending you stuff once I get in and like once I know more. And that's how I kind of learned about the VPA through her.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How would you describe the application and audition process?
well, the audition process and the application process was a bit difficult for me because you do have to write like a 400-word essay, and that was a bit like iffy for me. I was just like, 400 words. I don't know if I could do that, but I did.
But you
It was
did
a bit
it.
difficult, but it's like really easy. After I did it, I was just like, oh, wow, that was over stressing, per usual. And then for the visual arts, that the audition half of it is, it's like the teachers will say you can bring a minimum of like this much work, but they always say always have more, because the more the merrier. It's like the more the better, so we see more of your work rather than the 5 we assigned you, the 5 that like you want to show. You can always showcase more.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll ask you to do stuff like for the audition before, like when you go to interview. When you're waiting for your turn for the interview, you will have to draw a still life. So yeah, you pretty much be in like a nice quiet environment. It's good. As for the social aspect of being in the VPA, I absolutely love it. I used to be in my own like little shell, my own little world, just like, I don't really know you. I don't know if me and you have the same interests, or we really don't. I'm just gonna be over here. Let me just doodle away. And then when I came here and I actually got to know people and I got to meet them, and we all have like really similar interests. I found my tribe. It was just like I found my people. I found where I belong.
Is that your mom? Is your mom there?
Yeah.
I want to hear her perspective too.
No, Miss Aldana, I thought we weren't going to do this. Let's say, I have enjoyed seeing her flourish. I have enjoyed participating as an active parent in CVPA. It was nice to see her find her people and not feel alone, or that she had different interests than the masses. But I do. It's family oriented. They do things. They have activities. The kids are awesome. They spend time outside of the school together. It's been amazing. I was really nervous at first to let her go to Suitland, because she has ADHD and severe anxiety, and middle school and elementary school was extremely rough for her. That was a trying time, and to see her become she does everything on her own. She doesn't need my help as much. She's flourished into a nice, beautiful young lady. She does her work. She makes pretty much straight A's. There's always a B that upsets her, but she strives for that 4.0. She's got that 3.9. So, and they work with them and they support them, and they get to talk to each other and communicate. I was thoroughly surprised at how successful high school was for her, and that she didn't stress out as much. And the staff has been awesome. Their work is immaculate. I mean, sometimes you forget that they're high school students, because those pieces you would see people pay thousands of dollars for. I've seen them ask her as well as her classmates to do certain things and to create projects for them. They get to go out in the world and see what they could do in the future. It's great. I mean, I love the program. I got another one trying to get in for next year while one leaving.
I really love the way you timed that with your children. So we get to have 8 years.
But yeah,
so what's next, Nadia?
Like after the VPA?
Yes.
um, after I graduate from Sulin and the VPA, I'm going to um, attend, hopefully, the
University of Maryland College. That's the name.
Maryland University College Park.
What's
Oh,
your major?
I'm gonna major in photography and psychology,
okay.
because if you do, some of you hopefully do attend one of our art exhibitions that we have for the fall and winter, then you get to, one thing I really encourage is you actually going to see what like the students create and what we actually showcase and everything, so you get an idea. Another thing about being in the visual arts department is you really get to know what you want to create and what your art is mainly about when you're in your like junior and senior year, because freshman and sophomore you're more like dabbling into the other what's the word I'm looking for,
You try everything.
yeah, you're like getting into like the different instruments, I would say, like, oh, let's try painting, print
Mediums.
making, medium, thank you.
Mhm.
The meanings of like printmaking, paint, photography, sculpture, and all those other techniques that you learn from there. And then once you go further in, you're realizing like, okay, I really like sculpture. I want my art to be about like body positivity or like people's mentality and mental health and all that other stuff. You
Okay.
get to really, it's like a real eye opener, especially to see others people's work, because a lot of my friends who are also in the VPA, some of their past work has inspired some of my recent work.
Interesting. So, would you say that if you are a visual arts student, you should have something to say?
Huh?
If you are a visual arts student, you should have something to say.
Your art has something to say.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm saying that because I'm hearing that in the messages that you said that you are exploring with your work. I'm going to, for the students who are participating this evening, I think Ryan, Kaya, and I think that was it. You guys called earlier, but now is a good time to call. So back to you, Nadia. When when you started, would you say that you were as confident about your ability, less confident, or is it neutral or equal?
I will admit, when I started, I did not have the most confidence. But getting to know everybody was kind of like on the same level as I am, or getting to know like how supportive the teachers were, and they're like, they really helped me and encouraged me to where I am now. I'm more confident than what I was 3 years ago. So if I were to see myself now to 3 years ago me, they would have been like, oh my gosh, who are you and what have you become? Like, how did I become that?
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to don't go anywhere because I'm gonna actually bring you back to be part of a panel to answer some questions. Okay. So up next, I'm going to ask Kaya to join us on the screen to share her experience. Give me just a sec. Guess 3. Hey Kaya, welcome to the program. It's like, can you hear me, Kaya? 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 You're on. I think she muted us. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Welcome to the program. So you're a music major, a flutist, if I remember correctly, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Can you talk to us about where you went to middle school, how you learned about the program, and what the transition process was like for you from middle school to high school?
Okay. I went to Benjamin D. Falloy Career Performing Arts Academy. So I kind of already had an idea about Suitland because Benjamin Floyd was a feeder school.
Mm-hmm.
It was a performing arts middle school. So if you wanted to continue doing performing arts, you went to Suitland. So I've heard about it from Mr. Waller and my band director after he left, and they said that Suitland was going to be a great fit for me. So I decided to audition. Um, the audition process for me was kind of nerve wracking because I have really bad nerves when it comes to auditioning. But as soon as I got into the room with Mr. Waller and the other adjudicators that were in there, my nerves kind of went away. And it was just me being present with my instrument and playing um, the pieces that I had to play.
So once you were in the program and you said you had nerves coming to the audition, once you were in the program, how did you find the acclimation between your or let me that's not the word I'm looking for. How did you find balance between your music exploration and training and your academic?
Um, I would set goals or set like time limits for myself. So I would make sure that my homework was done before 8:30 so I can practice an hour to 90 minutes cuz in the CVPA program you're expected to practice for almost an hour to 30 minutes. So I had to make sure that all my homework was done before 8:30 or before 9 so I can practice and whatever homework I didn't finish, I would do after I practice.
Repeat that one more time because that needs to be said loud and often.
So I would set times or alarms for myself. So for example, I would work on my work from 8:30, from as soon as I get home to 8:30, and as soon as 8:30 hit, I would practice for 60 minutes to 90 minutes. And after I was finished practicing, I would continue to work on my homework.
Wow. So no TikToking?
No.
It's fantastic. So you're a senior now and you're looking at the next stage. So what's next for you?
I am interested in music business or arts administration. So my first choice is University of North Carolina Greensboro for arts administration and double majoring in the Bachelor of Arts of Music.
Okay. So that's those are excellent combinations. Do you think you might find yourself doing both?
Um, yeah.
And
Uh,
what about your flute? What's going to happen to it?
I wanted to use flute to get scholarships. I didn't want to major in music performance because I didn't. That wasn't for me, and I realized that after ninth grade. But I still realized I wanted to play the flute through my college and high school career. So I said I was going to use my instrument to help me get through college instead of majoring in it.
That is strategic thinking because colleges when they're making decisions about who to award scholarship but also who to accept, they want to know that someone is going to finish what they started, because that's that stick to itness is what makes a difference. And it's also because that's how colleges get evaluated. Their worst case scenario is for a student to come on board and then leave because it makes them look bad. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is that is a good way to think about, how to get what you want out of life. Yeah. What advice do you have for a young person, a young musician of any instrument, who is maybe watching this or will watch this later and think, yeah, I want to do that, but I'm not that. It's not that serious for me.
Um, I would say that you still have time to figure out what is right for you. And if music isn't, you don't want to go into music, that's totally fine. You could still play in ensembles in college if you want to still do music, but not major in it. Because that's the same thing I'm doing.
Okay.
I like music and want to do business as well. So I decided I'm still going to play or be in studios for my instrument.
And that's really important because if you go into, say, music business, You are likely to interact with a lot of musicians, and they'll definitely have a lot more respect for what you have to say if they know that you are part of their tribe and not just someone who crunches numbers, you know? Fantastic. Thank you. And now I'm going to actually bring both of you on the screen. Let's see if I can. I don't know how to make you guys even. Okay. So we have we have visual arts and we have music. It's a battle of the arts. But but you are both seniors. What do you think that relationship is between the different majors? How would you categorize it?
That's a good question. Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
I don't know about Nadia, but I know that I've been working on my auditions since I actually got into the CVPA program. I'm using my repertoire that I've used from freshman year up to now to do auditions, to do my auditions for the schools that I want to go to. So it's like, I think for Nadia, do you create your pieces for this for your auditions like separately, or are you using reusing your pieces that you did for freshman through your senior year?
The ones for from freshman year, I may not use because I'm not as confident as them as I am doing the ones in my senior year now. So I'm probably just gonna give them new work rather than old work.
And I think this speaks to the very different medium that you both are in, because whatever Nadia did her ninth grade year, that's set, that's done. But where with you, you can continue to fine tune that so that I'm sure you don't sound, Kaya, you don't sound today like you did when you were in the ninth grade.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. I never thought about that before. Huh. What advice do you have for CVPA students who are ninth graders this year, but also students who are going to be joining the program next year, who are now watching this or will watch this?
I would say go in there confidently, like coming with confidence. Also come in like, yeah, humble as well and open arms, because one thing about the VPA is like we're really expressive. We keep each other close. We keep our people close to us. So it's like how each department has like their own little family thing going on. Like all the visual arts majors, we know each other. We hang out from time to time, and we like to get to know each other. We like to get to know the underclassmen, people in other departments, and it's really, the environment is really welcoming and really family like. You get to know everybody, so even if you are like a visual arts major, even if you don't really just keep to the visual art department, you also get to know people in the theater and dance and do production and band and orchestra. It's a really welcoming environment. You kind of, once you go in, you realize how like, oh, I like this. Oh, this is nice. I can put my guard down. I feel more comfortable here. I'm not as alone as I thought I was.
That's actually what I was hoping you'd say, because I didn't want to say this is what I see because it's from the adult perspective. But this is actually what I observe when I see you guys in the hallways, but specifically when I see you guys when I'm doing bus duty and you guys are all having, your conversations and your discussions, solving world problems, in your own level, at your own level. Last question. Do you think, having been a COVID high school student, that you are stronger or less strong as a result?
I would say stronger.
Why?
Because it really shows that we can still do our arts and still be good students while there is a pandemic in the world and that times are uncertain. That we can still rise to the occasion and still meet the requirements that we need to meet.
while overcoming challenges.
And what do you think the long-term effects of that would be for you guys?
From online learning,
Uh-huh.
I would say it got us to learn how to use different skill sets and a new way of trying to define our own thing without having that one-on-one learning that we're used to. Because just like how the pandemic happened, we may not be able to have that. So we got to understand and kind of go through it on our own way with like a bit of verbal guidance from the teachers, because they're not there to help us physically when we're working, but they're there to be like, okay, this is what we do, this is how we do it, here's some videos that can help you, this is other stuff that can assist you, if you need, you can contact us. But a lot of the other art majors like I did, we kind of were on our own, and we're just like messaging each other on the day-to-day, just like, hey, did you do this, or is this how you do it? And we were sending each other photos of the assignments, and it also got us to kind of go out of our comfort zone, and like we would have to purchase our own art supplies at some point. So say we ran out of something and some of our teachers didn't have like backup supplies for it, we'd be go online shopping, or sometimes one of my friends actually had to go in stores, so she got to work on a bit of her social anxiety with that, which was actually really interesting, and she's a lot more confident now, which is really nice to see.
So what I hear is that even though we went through this very difficult, dark period of uncertainty, you guys found ways to still shine through that, and you have new coping skills that's going to help you for the rest of your life. Yeah? Okay, I'm going to bring you to the green room and get to the end of the presentation, and then just kind of hang around to help answer questions in case someone has a question for the students. Yes? Thank you so much for being here this evening, and thank you too, Ms. Coley.
You're welcome.
Let me see if I can get back to that page. Here we go. And so if you have questions, this is the time. I think someone had, I think Miss, someone already answered that question. Okay. So what happens next? The most important thing is to make sure that you are completing the application as soon as possible. So as soon as you get the application, or as soon as you complete the application, then we have your information, and we know that you are someone that we need to keep in touch and keep informed of ongoing events, so that you can start participating, like audition workshops, or if there's a performance that we want you to attend, because now everything is virtual. You can just click on a link and be right here with us. So we want you to get learn as much about the program as possible before you come on board, so that you can have the best experience. If you have any lingering questions after this evening, this is my email address. Please use it. If you would like to explore the CVPA program a little bit more, please visit our webpage, where there are samples of student works. There's the link to this presentation, actually. You would also find the link to the application. There's also a unique one-to-one page that is specifically for future applicants. Just click on it, and if you just scroll down, you'll see the colleges our students have attended. You will see links, things that have recent events that have gone on. You see links to stories on news stories that have been done about our students, like Washington Post, like CBS, NBC, a number of things. So that's just kind of like a one-stop shop to get your information. Also, At the very bottom of this page, let's see if I can scroll to it. At the very bottom, very importantly, is a breakdown. Oh, these are past events. It's a breakdown of exactly where what you need to do for each of the auditions. You could also get that by going on the arts page, but we just put it in as many places as possible so that you can always find the information that you need. But this is like one place where you can have it concise, and it's right here under applicants. Okay. And if you haven't, please be sure to sign up so that you can be contacted for upcoming future events. And now I have another guest student who is going to join us to share his experience as a student. And Ryan, you there? Ryan? I'm going to add you to student 4. Hey, Ryan, welcome to the program.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight? So my name is Ryan Jeffries. I'm a senior here at Suitland High School, the illustrious Suitland High School, as Center for Visual and Performing Arts. So program's really great. I'm in the band. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't trade those 4 years that I've had here for anything else. I actually started off as a theater major, and that 1 week, that small portion of my freshman year was still great. I still loved it. Made me feel like family. Teachers, amazing. Experiences are just amazing. As a freshman, I mean, just as anywhere, you have to start small, then get big. That's pretty much what I did. But you got it. You definitely got it. It's just an amazing experience to go through, no matter what section or what art that you choose to express yourself in. Is there anything that you want me to specifically speak about, Miss Saldana?
Absolutely. I would like for you to speak about your growth in music specifically. I believe you were playing 2 different instruments. Is that correct?
No. I only play trumpet. Trumpet, that's my baby right there.
Okay, now I was confusing you with the saxophonist. Apologies. Okay, so talk to me about your growth as a musician, specifically playing the trumpet.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Trumpet, music.
Oh, excuse me. And relating to your applied lessons. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, got you. Yeah. So my applied teacher, Mr. David Smith, amazing guy. Freshman year, I came in not knowing a lot. I just pretty much knew that it was a trumpet and that I liked to play it. Now, oh man. Now with his help and Mr. Waller's help, I've definitely learned more about myself as a musician, as well as more about the anatomy and the ins and out of the instrument itself. Now I'm applying to colleges and things like that and playing these pieces that I never would have thought I could play before. Just different difficulties of pieces, and Mr. Smith along with Mr. Waller have made me not want to shy away from hard music. Like when they say, oh, this music is super hard, or this music is a grade 6, I'm not like, oh, that doesn't sound good. I'm ready to tackle it. Like it's just something that I feel is a part of me now. Like music definitely in these 4 years, music has definitely become one of my halves. Definitely. I can say that with full confidence. And my love for music has just exponentially grown since I've been here at Suitland. And I'm very appreciative. Miss Saldana, Mr. Waller, and Mr. Smith. Greatly. So appreciative.
So Ryan, what advice would you have for someone who you say you started in theater, you have multiple interests, they have multiple interests. How should they hone in on what they're really going to love to do? What worked for you to figure that out?
That's a good question. Well, that's a good question. Just think about it. Think about where you see yourself in the next 10 years in that field. You see yourself as the next, like, Denzel Washington or the next Miles Davis? Do you see yourself as someone who does this for temporarily for everyone else, or do you do it for you? You have to ask yourself, why do I do this? Why is this something that I like? And is this something that'll take me far in life? If you do like it, if you love it, if it's for you, then go for it. I chose band because I definitely did. I definitely did want to be a musician. I just have that connection with music, but not everyone's the same. So definitely just self-reflect, and ask and see what do you think what will be the best option for you.
Those are sage words of advice. What last words of advice would you have for the student who will be a Suitland? Maybe they will come as the only person from their school. Will probably won't know anyone the first day. What do you say to them?
Oh, right, definitely. That was definitely me. I was the only person from my school. I came from Ernest Just.
Really? I did
Yeah,
not. I would have never guessed that from day one.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I was a lone wolf. You know.
Okay, lone wolf.
Yeah. So just be you. Just be you, because no matter who you are, people will naturally gravitate towards you. Make high school your own. Don't sit around just being shy of what people will say about you, what people will think about you, because at the end of the day, you are the only person that opinion matter. Like no one else's opinion matters about you. Just do you, be who you are, express yourself how you want to express yourself. Now, don't put any other people down in the process of it. Just make sure you are unapologetically you. That's all I can say.
It's great advice for
Thank you.
anyone at any age. So thank you so much for that. I'm
No
going
problem.
to bring you three here. Let's see. Assign to the right. Nadia, yours.
I'm sorry.
You muted us.
I muted myself.
You muted yourself. So I'm going to. We're going to sign off, but I'd rather that you signed off than I signed off. Um, it's been a really difficult year, and this is actually something different. What do you have to say to your teachers after the year that we've been through?
Good luck.
Lady first. Yeah.
Good luck. Is that what you say to your teachers?
Good for your teachers.
Yeah. Good luck. I'm not there anymore. That could be last fun.
Wow.
Hi.
I think
Okay.
Kai should go.
What's okay. On that note, let me change to the outro. We're still going to be here. Thank you guys. You can take a bow now. Take a bow.
I do. Thank you
That's
guys.
what I wanted. Okay. We're still going to be here answering questions for the next 5 minutes. We'll just be on the outro. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we hope to see you at the audition. Good night. This QR code will give you the presentation that you just saw this evening, so that you can actually go at your own pace and be able to click on the different links and explore on your own. I just wanted to bring that back, since I did promise that you would have that at the end.